We're learning more about why Lavabit, a secure email service, suddenly shut down in August. Now, the site's owner, Ladder Levison, he posted this message blaming a secret U.S. court battle, and he vowed to continue fighting. Now, many of the court records have been made public, and it had been widely believed that the U.S. government wanted to access Edward Snowden's email. The man who leaked National Security Agency secrets, he had a Lavabit account. Now, the unsealed court documents reveal exactly how Lavabit melted down. Let's bring in our regular contributor, Nicholas Thompson, who edited that article on Lavabit for TheNewYorker.com. He joins us now live from New York. And Nick, first, what is Lavabit and why was it created?
So Lavabit is a secure email service, so it's like Gmail or Hotmail or any other service, but there are a whole bunch of protections built in to protect your privacy. So for example, when your messages are stored on the company's servers, they're encrypted so that if a government agency or anybody else were to get in, it would be very hard for them to get them. So there are protections built in at a whole series of stages to make you feel more secure that nobody's reading your messages.
Now, the first tangle with law enforcement, it began before the first Edward Snowden leak. So how did Lavabit first get into trouble?
Well, Lavabit has, like all email providers, it has conversations with law enforcement authorities all the time. And in the past, Lavabit had cooperated and had given information to the government over a child pornographer, for example. In May, an FBI agent left his card at the door of the founder of Lavabit. And then in June, once Edward Snowden's leaks had become public and it was very clear that he was leaking American national security information, the government was very aggressive in trying to get Lavabit to give information about, we presume, Snowden's account. It's not exactly clear that they're going after Snowden's account from the court documents because the name is redacted, but it's surely that. And so the government came and said, we want all the incoming and outgoing information from his account. And then the battle escalated in some very interesting ways.
Now, I'm very curious about the man behind Lavabit. I mean, Levison, he was eventually forced to destroy his own business, this business that he built up for the last 10 years. How did he react to that?
Well, so he's a very interesting guy, and he's a real advocate for the rights of privacy, and his whole company was based on that. He had business interests on fighting back against the FBI, and he had personal interests. So the FBI came to him and said, give us Snowden's information. He said, well, no, I'm not really going to do that, and sort of stonewalled. And they said, no, you really have to give it to us. And he said, okay, I'll give it to you, but it's really hard to get. I'll build you I'll write the code so that you can get it. And the FBI said, no, you don't write the code. You give us the master keys to your site. He said, well, no, if I give you the master keys, then you'll have information to everything of all of my users. And the FBI said, no, you have to give this to us. So his position is that the FBI, by demanding the master keys to decrypt his site, made it much harder for him to give anything. And because of that, he shut down the site. So he's saying that the FBI, by asking for too much, ended up not getting anything, and that if they had just asked for something smaller and narrower, he would have given it to him and they would have been able to trace Snowden. So this battle goes back and forth through June, July, August, and then it reaches its most crazy point when he finally says to the FBI, all right, you've demanded that I give you the master encryption codes. Well, here it is. And he prints it out in 4-point font, totally unreadable, and hands him a stack of paper and says, here it is. You want it? You got it. The FBI said, well, this is ridiculous. You can't do this. We couldn't possibly enter all of this. You have to give it to us electronically. And at that point, he just shuts the site down. So what we're seeing from these court documents is that most email providers, when the FBI came to them during the National Security Agency stuff, just said, hey, okay, here it is. Here's one guy who said, no, I'm going to fight you tooth and nail in every way I possibly can.
Yeah, it's incredible how Levison, he was forced to give up his website to shut down, but on his own terms at the very end. Let's talk next about what all this battle reveals about the U.S. government. For the FBI and the U.S. government to go after Lavabit this way, what does that say about the psyche of Washington and how it feels about any service designed for user privacy?
Yeah, that's an extremely important question. So, of course, they went after him hard because he was Edward Snowden's email provider, and they desperately wanted to stop Edward Snowden from leaking more secrets for, lots of reasons that are eminently understandable. The big question at the heart of this case, and it's something that Levison feels strongly about, is whether the FBI deliberately asked for too much, not because it was interested in Snowden, but because it wanted the master keys in order to help its larger method of cracking all the secret methods of communication on the internet. So the question is whether the FBI didn't get what it could have gotten on Snowden because it's so intent on cracking everything. And whether the FBI and the NSA, which clearly are trying to go after all privacy, all all services that focus on privacy and have privacy deeply embedded in it and are built to scale. The NSA and the FBI have been working to crack all those. And the question here is whether they were so intent on that larger mission of getting access to everything that they may have, in a way, let Snowden get away almost.
Incredible. Nothing safe, nothing secure. Nick Thompson joining us. A fascinating story. You can find it on the New Yorker website. Nick, thank you. Take care. We'll talk again next week.